Breaking news on Wall Street today, a growing trade war sent markets dropping this afternoon. Take a look here on your screen. The Dow fell early this morning as President Trump's long-promised tariffs did take effect. Then they started to climb back a little bit, but this afternoon there was another major sell-off right before the close as investors worried about the impact that tariffs might have on the economy. You see all the numbers there. The Dow closed down more than 670 points, second day in a row of big losses there. Now, those tariffs took effect this morning, and they target the United States' biggest trading partners. Going forward, goods coming from Mexico and Canada will now be subject to a 25% tax, and Chinese imports will now be taxed at a total of 20%. 10% was added today, on top of 10% that already took effect a month ago. Now, the Trump administration says the tariffs are meant to stop drugs, illegal immigration, and also help companies that make things here in the U.S. This morning, Canada's Prime Minister hit back, announcing retaliatory tariffs, saying that the U.S. has started a trade war.
Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite, but we will not back down from a fight. Not when our country and the well-being of everyone in it is at stake.
That's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying he will be challenging the tariffs as well at the World Trade Organization and exploring what he called non-tariff retaliation. Mexico's president also mentioned retaliation as well and said new tariffs were coming from her country this weekend. We wanted to take a look at how the tariffs could impact prices on everyday items here in Illinois. And we're going to go country by country, starting with the impact from Canada. So no state imports more things than Canada from Illinois. Most of that is oil. Now, the president did make oil from Canada a 10% tariff instead of 25%. Now, of course, you don't know if the gas in your car actually comes from Canada or somewhere else, but Gas Buddy still predicts that prices overall will be going up between 20 and 40 cents per gallon because of this by the end of this month. Now, remember that oil also goes into lots of things, plastics, packaging, so there's a bigger impact as well. Also good to know, Canada is Illinois' biggest export market, things we make here going there. So the retaliation that Trudeau talked about could hurt people who make things here in Illinois. Let's talk Mexico. Their big import to Illinois is beer, and it is not even close. Mexico sent $5 billion in beer to Illinois last year, and those same bottles and cans last year are now subject to a 25% tariff. Lots of car parts also get traded between Illinois and Mexico. You got to remember, even if a car is assembled here, the parts that come in from Mexico are taxed by the tariff. Barclays estimates the cost pass on to you could mean a car ends up being more than $3,000 on average, but there's another estimate by Anderson Economic Group says the highest cost passed on could be $12,000 more expensive. It really just depends on the car. Now we talk China here. That is Illinois' fourth largest trading partner. And you already know, we buy lots of stuff from China. Illinois ranks second nationally in stuff we bring in. $27 billion here going to products that are computers or electronics. That's the leading category. So we're talking things like TVs, laptops, and phones. Could also be chips and parts that go into these products. Now, during President Trump's first term, Apple got a waiver on much of the tariffs. But analysts expect that the company could raise iPhone prices if they don't get one this time around. And just so you know, Illinois sends over $1 billion a year in corn, soybeans, other agricultural products to China. So those are now potentially priced higher in the Chinese market, again, potentially hurting people who make things here. And prices for all of us could start rising on store shelves as soon as this week. Listen to this.
We depend on Mexico during the winter. We're going to try to make sure we can do everything we can to protect pricing. But if there's a 25% tariff, those prices will go up.
That's the CEO of Target, a very big store. He says the first place you will see those tariffs is produce, so things like bananas, strawberries, and avocados. President Trump posted today about the tariffs, saying if companies move manufacturing here to the U.S., they wouldn't have to pay for things that get imported. Marion?
Thank you for all of that breakdown for us, Alex.